In early 2023, I started a new series on this channel called Expanding Near You. It focuses on emerging companies that are just starting to become widely recognized brands. Either they have recently reached your area, or there is strong evidence to suggest that it will be happening sometime soon. So for my final video of the year, I thought it would be fitting to talk about Crumbl Cookies, given that they have been one of the fastest growing brands in the food service industry, and the fastest growing brand when it comes to desserts. It has been fun to watch because it's not often that a new company like this just takes the world by storm. The founders have expressed that their plan has essentially been to safely expand across the country as fast as they possibly can by opening as many locations as they can. They have previously announced ambitious goals of reaching 300 outlets by the end of 2021 and 600 to 750 by the end of the following year. And amazingly, that is exactly what happened. Consider that Crumbl Cookies did not exist until September of 2017, and over a little more than 6 years has grown to almost 1,000 locations across the country that could be found in all 50 states. I mean, over a quarter of them have opened since I started this series less than a year ago, not to mention their first international location that opened in Canada over that time as the first step in their journey of becoming a global brand. Their annual sales are estimated to average around $1.8 million per location, bringing their system-wide sales well over the $1 billion mark. In short, if there is a Crumbl Cookies in your area, it is relatively new, having opened within the past few years. And if there is not a Crumbl Cookies in your area, keep an eye out because it may be coming sometime soon. For this video, I put together 5 reasons as to why Crumbl Cookies has been so successful to this point and may continue to build upon it. My first reason is that they have developed a wholesome image as a privately owned family business. It is almost hard to believe that Crumbl Cookies has come this far without using any money from outside investors. It was started by 2 cousins named Jason McGowan and Sawyer Hemsley, who remain in control of everything, serving as CEO and COO. They started franchising after having only 2 locations, and many of those early franchisees were people that they had existing connections with, like friends or neighbors. All of the Crumbl Cookies locations are closed on Sundays so that their 23,000 employees could spend that time with their loved ones. They say that their mission is to bring friends and family together over a box of the best cookies in the world, and I know it's hard for something like that to sound genuine, but people do often order these cookies for special events, like birthdays or anniversaries that involve friends and families. They even sell this cookie cutter that divides the cookie into 4 separate parts. I mean, these are large cookies, so that further promotes the idea of sharing and togetherness that has been a big part of their image. The next reason on my list is debatable in some ways, but I'm going to say it's their focus on quality. It is very bold to say that you make the best cookies in the world, especially when there are a lot of people out there that disagree with that entirely. Common criticisms are that they are too sweet and too soft, almost to a point where they feel undercooked, but there are also millions of people out there that can't get enough of these things. It's obviously personal preference, but objectively, a lot of effort has been put toward creating these recipes. When McGowan and Hemsley had the idea of starting the business, they knew very little about cookies and had no experience in the food service industry. Oddly enough, they paid for an old restaurant in Utah that was scheduled to be demolished and bought all the baking equipment to put inside of it before they had any idea what their cookie recipe would be. Yeah, that is a strange order to go about things, but they figured it out by making so many batches of cookies, modifying the ingredients a little bit each time based on feedback from random samples of people that were testing them. They would make 2 different batches of cookies, only slightly different from each other, and bring them to a nearby grocery store or gas station, ask somebody which ones they liked better, and develop the recipe from there. By the time they opened for business, they had formulated the recipe for a chocolate chip cookie that people seemed to like, and that was the only flavor they sold. It proved to be popular enough to serve as the foundation to start building their business. Today, all of the cookies they sell are freshly baked in the store using high-quality ingredients in an open layout, so you can actually see what they're doing. It adds to a quality experience that also also involves fast and easy ordering, made possible through the app they designed or the kiosks when you walk in. McGowan had a background in making apps and software before this business, so they have been on top of things when it comes to technology. I also want to point out that they don't advertise their franchising program because they want to attract people that have developed their own connection with the brand, enough to seek out the opportunity for themselves. I can't recall seeing anything like this before, but on their franchising website, they have a statement that says, "This isn't a side hustle. We're looking for owners who are prepared to put the apron on. If you aren't ready to be in your area and in your store for an extended amount of time, this might not be for you." Clearly, they have been choosy about who can operate these restaurants, helping to ensure better cookies and an overall better experience for the customer that'll make them want to come back. Crumbl Cookies has also been able to grow so fast due to a lack of competition. Most of us would agree that cookies are a tasty, beloved dessert. Truly, who doesn't like a cookie? They're Santa's favorite food, yet there are no other companies out there that specialize in serving them up fresh and ready to eat that are anywhere near this scale. Seriously, any other competitor you could possibly think of is significantly smaller. There are large national chains when it comes to ice cream and donuts, but not for cookies, and that has been a huge advantage for them. That market is fairly open, and Crumbl is quickly becoming the name that we associate with freshly baked cookies. That is a big reason they felt the need to expand so quickly, so they can establish themselves in all of these areas before anyone else gets there. When choosing new areas to enter, they have been able to put their efforts toward researching demographics and traffic patterns and whatever else, rather than the existing competitors. So even though they are expanding very quickly, which can be alarming at times, things are seemingly fairly stable for the time being. Unclear if it'll stay this way, but at least for right now, the demand is there, the market is open, and the people they work with have been carefully chosen. Going back to the list, I am saving the best for last because my next two reasons are probably the most significant. The next one being their rotating menu. This is where Crumbl Cookies really starts to stand out because they have served well over 200 unique flavors over the years, but only 6 of them are available at any given time. The chocolate chip cookie, that one has always been there. It's becoming a classic at this point, so either that one or the semi-sweet chocolate chunk will be available anytime you go there. But the rest of the list is forever changing. They are always coming up with new flavors and reintroducing the old ones. It gives the customer a good reason to come back each week because it'll always be different and you never know what it's going to be until Sunday when they announce their next week's lineup. So then it becomes this big event, you know, like I can't wait to see what they're going to come out with next, or oh, that looks like a tasty flavor, I better run out and get it to make sure I don't miss out because it's going to be gone soon. Yeah, Crumbl Cookies has its own community out there that anticipate these announcements each week. It's a community that has been developed through the last reason on my list, social media, specifically TikTok. In 2021, when they started getting traction, they gained 1.6 million followers in the span of 6 weeks, and that has since grown to 7.2 million, potentially more if you're not watching this video right when it comes out. And that is an abnormally high number for a food franchise like this. McDonald's, for example, only has 4 million followers. So many people are following Crumbl Cookies so that they can catch that big announcement each Sunday, and these videos that they have featuring the cookies make them look very appetizing. I love that one shot where they slowly pull the cookie apart. How could you not want to go there after watching that? They put it on this pink background that has become their signature color. When you buy the cookies, they put them in these pink boxes, specifically the rectangular 4-pack that people now associate with Crumbl. So it has all become this cycle of free, organic social media promotion. Influencers buy the new flavors each week, review them on their social media, where their audience is then influenced to go out and get select flavors, and then maybe they review it to their audience, and it just keeps going and going. Countless hours of content have been posted to TikTok and other social media platforms that revolves around Crumbl Cookies. So you can see how this revolving menu paired with social media has led to a lot of people craving Crumbl Cookies each week. Before I end this video, I feel like I should draw attention to the fact that these cookies have been commonly criticized for their health content. Look, I am by no means a health expert, I realize that, but you probably don't want to be eating too many of these every week. For example, the chocolate chip has 720 calories per cookie, and most of the other flavors are pretty similar to that, if not worse. See, when you order it, it only says 180 calories under it, and you have to keep in mind that that is the per serving amount. There are 4 servings in each cookie. There has has been some controversy around that. I don't think they're trying to misrepresent it necessarily. They even sell those cookie cutters to divide it into 4 pieces, but at the same time, the 180 does look a lot better than the 720. Let me know in the comments, have you ever been to Crumbl Cookies, and if so, what do you think of it? Some people say that they are incredibly overhyped. They are too soft, too sugary, too expensive, too many calories, and people are only going there to be part of this silly social media craze that's getting ready to die down, while others believe that these cookies are some of the tastiest things that they have ever eaten and continue to have a lot of fun testing out the new flavors each week while watching or even filming reviews about them. Personally, I have been there one time in preparation for making this video, and in my opinion, they were delicious. I don't see myself becoming a weekly customer necessarily because they are pretty rich, but I will be going back. Now, to be clear, they're not quite as good as the ones my mom makes, but still very good. Also, I'm curious to ask, what has been your favorite flavor that you have gotten from there? Because I'm going to be on the lookout for when it makes its way back into the rotation. And finally, what do you see for the future of Crumbl Cookies? Will they continue to get bigger, or are they already way too big and about to start moving in the other direction? And any other thoughts you have about Crumbl Cookies, leave them in the comments. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Have a happy new year, and thank you for watching.